Hello there guys, and welcome to my channel. This is PilotBoy94 and I'm here today to do a first look video on Armstrong Powerhouse's enhancement for the Class 91. And I'm so glad, I'm so happy that it's come. I have another video that I need to make for the Class 313, but that's for another day, so stay tuned for that. And the reason why that's a bit late is because I've been on holiday, I've been away, I've been in Los Angeles, and here's a few photos. You can see what I've been up to. And so I'm back in the UK, and on the, I believe it was on the previous weekend, the first weekend of October, this was released, the Class 91 Enhancement Pack, and it's much needed because the Class 91 was one of those trains that really frustrated me because it was so, I don't know what Dovetail Games were doing at the time of like making it, but it just so made me feel, oh, why are you doing this? It's so poor quality, the driving physics are terrible, and because I live on the East Coast mainline, it just made me feel really, really bad. And I'm so happy now because Armstrong Powerhouse have come up with this enhancement pack which makes it all better, including the sound. Sorry for that hiccup. So I've made this little scenario, which is an empty coach stock working of a 225 unit to Browns Green Depot, which is next to Alexandra Palace train station. So I am driving 91111, which is at the time, when you go back to East Coast, it was the unique one painted. It's the only one painted for National Express in that livery. So I am in that one. The timetable that I've set this up on is the current timetable, so that's as of the 12th of December of me recording this. But all the train stock is dated back a few years during the East Coast franchise and the First Capital Connect franchise. So like this 321 over here to Cambridge, which is a Capital Connect 321. And I also have the 313s in AI mode as well. So I'm going to unpause and we're going to jump straight into it, and I'm going to drive this all the way to Browns Green with a turnaround so you can see both cabs. So we're going to jump into the cab. Listen to that sound from the other 91. It just sounds incredible. So the route is set already, so we're going to get the cab light on, going to get the headlight on, going to get the markers on. So what I'm going to do is turn the train key and set the train, and we're ready. Instrument lights on, DRA off as we have a green signal. Set to forwards, release the brakes, and let's do it. So I'm going to turn off the cab light now as well, so we are in a realistic sort of environment. So that's the 2200 service to Newcastle 225 unit in East Coast livery. So like I say, I'm so happy that this is here. The sound is good, the train is good, the physics are actually decent, and the liveries as well. So that's another thing I should point out, the liveries. What do you get out of this package? Right, this package comes with all the liveries that the 225 units have ever been in. So apart from the Intercity one, because that was already part of the Intercity livery was already part of the package, the Class 91 package. So you get, as you've already seen, you get the East Coast livery. So you get the East Coast livery, plus this one, 91111 in the National Express. You also get it in National Express with National Express branding, as well as East Coast branding. You also get GNR. And you get both the unrefurbished GNR and the GNR Mallard, which is the refurbishment with the red doors, and the place and the changement of the buffet car. What do you also get? You also get the National Express, which was the next franchise. So you get National Express, X GNR National Express livery, which you will see. You also get East Coast, as you've already seen here, with 91111 as well, which I've already mentioned. And you also get XGNR East Coast, so all the liveries. And then you get the current one, so you get X East Coast Virgin livery. So it's basically, as you can see the unit next to us, it's basically that, just with Virgin branding on the Class 91 and the DVT. And you also get the Virgin Trains East Coast livery, the full one, which is what, in the current time, is what all of the units are liveried. So, like I said, I am really happy. I come back from my holiday, the Class 313 comes out. About a week later, this comes out. Makes me so happy. I'm coming up to Christmas now, and I'm so glad, because I want to make some really good scenarios for the Newcastle to Edinburgh line on Just Trains. And now I've got a decent Class 91 with decent sounds, decent liveries. I can do it now, so I'm really happy at the moment. But this unit is amazing. Sounds are good from the outside and the interior. The only interior sounds I don't like is from the passenger view, but the passenger view is not where you want to be. You want to be driving. That's the whole point. Train simulator. You must be the driver, not the passenger. So every functionality works so much better than it did before this enhancement pack. So cruise control works, but I don't use cruise control on this unit. You've also got, you can either, because Armstrong Powerhouse are really good with this, and you can turn on or off the driver, I don't know what you call it, the driver awareness thing, which by pressing Control and D I can turn it on, and you'll hear it in 60 seconds, it will go off. And unlike on the unenhanced Class 91, you would press Q, which is the AWS cancellation. You would press E, which is what I like as well. It's actually, the foot pedal is an independent button from the AWS, so you get that as well. The physics in terms of the speeding up, slowing down, not too sure how realistic that is, but based on the times that I've travelled on the East Coast Main Line, it does seem very realistic. So, like I say, it makes me happy that something like this has come out. In terms of the startup physics, I never understood why the train jerks in real life, but I realise now that you actually have to put quite a lot of throttle on in order to get the train started. But I've managed every time on the simulator anyway to do very smooth starts. There's the driver vigilance, and I pressed E to cancel it. So yeah, every functionality works. DRA works, AWS, all the lights are independent as well, and each cab has independent controls as well. And there's also a proper two-tone horn, which does sound real to the real trains. Again, it makes me so good, so happy. AWS works properly, because I know in the old one the AWS was a bit, it was a bit hit and miss really. But yeah, like I say, this is an empty coach stop working to Barons Green, and we'll be basically using the relief lines northbound, and then at Bowes Park we'll be turning around. We'll be going from this cab to the DVT, so you can actually see the DVT cab, and I can show you the differences as well between this cab and the DVT cab. So we're now going on to the relief line, which runs alongside the main slow. So there's the driver vigilance again. I'll show you the outside sound. If you know about the 91, that does sound realistic. So I'll actually, when we stop the train at Bowes Park, we'll go around, and there's the DVT. Listen to that sound. Listen to the joints, because that generally does sound like the Mk4s and the DVT. You know, I still don't understand. I think a 313 just passed us. Yeah, 313 over there. But that's for another video. today concentrating on the 91. But it makes me happy because now I can make proper realistic. I can make really realistic scenarios for the East Coast Main Line, which makes me really happy because I live on the East Coast Main Line. I live in Peterborough, and I'd love to do some proper, proper trafficked scenarios. And now the 313 is out. We've got this as well, the Class 91 with this enhancement pack. Really good. I am happy as a scenario maker. But anyway, so Class 91. What is there to say about the Class 91? The stock itself, nicknamed the 225, Intercity 225, as a marketing strategy, like the HST was marketed strategy as, well, the HST and Intercity 125. The Intercity 125, its predecessor to this, was called the 125 because it would achieve on a daily basis 125 miles per hour. Unfortunately, with the 225, it was 225 as 225 kilometers per hour, which is 140 miles per hour, which was its intended speed to operate in, but due to cab limitations, in-cab signaling limitations, or something like that, today it only runs up to 125 miles per hour on a daily basis from London King's Cross to Edinburgh, and it is exclusive to the East Coast Main Line. I'm sure a lot of you guys know who are watching this that the Class 91 is exclusive to the East Coast Main Line and the Mark 4 carriages. Interestingly, I think this was the first train to be built from two different factories, because the locomotives, I believe, were made by GEC, which is General Electric Company, and the carriages and the DVT were made by Metro Camel. So I believe, don't quote me, but I believe that this was the first time that British Rail did that, where trains were being built in separate places. I believe the Networker as well was a bit like that with the 465 units anyway. They were built in using you can actually tell by the sounds and some features of the trains that they were different. But anyway, we're just passing Hornsey now. Got a couple of stock in there that I've put in there, and this should be a HST, the last the last Aberdeen train into London. Should pass us any moment now, which is a HST. There it is. You can actually see the headlights just ahead of us. So passing Hornsey, this is actually a really nice train to drive on on an empty coach working. So yeah, like I said, I've backdated the trains to the East Coast era a couple of years, and so we got East Coast First Cabs Connect is supreme here. I would have preferred to do a Virgin Trains East Coast, but there is no, I can't find any liveried or liveries for the 365s in the Great Northern colours or the 321s, the Dusty Bins. So maybe someone will make them at some point. We'll see. And if they do, I can make some more realistic scenarios, and when I do stuff like this, I can do it more realistically. But like I say, this is based on the current timetable as of the 12th of October 2016. So this is a Monday to Friday timetable. And there's a train coming past us now. 365 down to King's Cross. Unfortunately, no sounds because I don't know why Armstrong Powerhouse, whenever there's repaints, it doesn't seem to work very well. So now we're coming up to Alexandra Palace, quite a well-known place in the UK. The palace is to our left over here, that's why I'm looking over to the left, and the station is here. And we're going to be going over the flyover to go over to the North London line, the Hertford Loop line, to get to Bowes Park and turn around. So we're 30 mile an hour here now, so past Kilo 463. So as you can see, there's a couple of trains sat in the depot, and we'll see them in closer detail. There's ex-GNR over there at Barons Green. So this is a fairly... I would say that this is a common thing that happens every day, where trains are, you know, empty stop movements. And so there's a 180 there from Grand Central sat in the... I believe that that's realistic, I'm not too sure, but I've put it there because the last train operates, it arrives, well, it's the North train, it arrives into London at 9 o'clock in the evening, so I assume it would stable up in London. So we're now approaching Bowes Green. We got cautionary signals coming up. And the AWS is another good thing I like about it. The cautionary AWS is actually pretty decent. And so on the reverse line there's a 15 mile an hour limit, so we'll slow down for that, and you can actually see how the braking works on this train, which you probably saw already. It works really, really well, and it's really easy to adjust the speed, you know, when you're coming up to cautionary signals. So that's one advantage you have over the previous unenhanced version. But when we stop, I will go outside and stick the train in neutral, so you can hear the compressor run down. And if you know, like I say, if you know about the Class 91, you would think the sounds are very, very good, and I love it. I love the sounds. So here we are, Bowes Park, and there's a 313 arriving. So I'm going to come outside and watch the 313 as the train. There's a 313 there, first cab to connect with the overhead up, and the red banner on the back, which is, you know, normal. Unfortunately, I can't get the people out of the train, so it looks a bit weird that we're doing an empty coach movement with people. But if you listen carefully, it does sound very much like the Mk4 carriages. And there's the DBT. So we're just going to get the train cleared off the back end here, and we will shut down this locomotive and then go to the DVT and drive into the sheds at Barons Green for overnight stabling. So I'm going to turn the cab light on now, just as we slow down. Set the DRA. I'm gonna come outside, like I said, and listen to the compressor sound drop down. So I'm gonna put the train into neutral and listen. So guys, how about that? You know, if like I say, if you know about the Class 91, that is pretty realistic. So we're just gonna get the headlights off now, and get the tail lights on, and shut down this cab. And I love this because you can actually properly shut it down. So we're gonna switch cab ends now, turn the instrument lights off. So now we're in the DVT. Already noticed the sound difference, don't you? So we're just going to turn the cab light on, and this one's a little bit different because the master key doesn't work. So all you do is set the reverser into neutral, AWS check there, and cancel. The cab is different in many ways, but that's because it was built by, like I already mentioned, it's built by Metro Camel. So this is a little bit different as well to get the... So we turn the headlights on, and the tail lights and marker lights are individual to each other compared to on the Class 91. So instrument lights are the same, and we'll turn off the light in here as well. So we'll turn off the DRA as well. So as you can see, the train is ready, and what we'll do, we'll go to the back here so you can actually hear the compressor whine up, because this noise is incredible. You've already heard it shut down, and let's hear it start up. So are you ready, guys? Here we go. How about that then, guys? That is brilliant, isn't it? That sound is incredible. Armstrong Powerhouse never disappoints, and I'm really, you know, their products have always been good. I love their sound packs. I've bought most of their sound packs to enhance my experience. So now we have reversed. We're in the DVT. The DVT is a lot quieter. But I don't know. I've driven from both sides now, both at high speeds, and I think I prefer to drive from the DVT because you get more wind noise, and it might also because it's. I mean, I've travelled first class a lot with Virgin Trains East Coast, and since they've started in 2015, and I'm always in Coach M, so I'm always up this end of the train, so I'm sort of familiar with the sounds. Maybe that's why I prefer it, and the wind noise is better, because I find that the motor noise from the Class 91 gets a bit annoying after a certain time. So driving from the DVT is actually a lot more pleasant in my opinion. But again, that's my opinion on it. I don't know about you guys. I mean, I do recommend you buy this. It's only £15. No, was it £10? So the price is good. Unfortunately, do your best to buy the Class 91 while it's on sale, is what I recommend, because you can get it at maybe £5, and then you pay £10 for this. That's £15 pack, essentially speaking. I mean, if you can get this on sale as well, this enhancement pack, that's brilliant as well. And another thing I like about Armstrong Powerhouse, this is their first rolling stock enhancement pack, and it is good. So if they were to do it in more in the future, I think it would be a really good setup. So now we're on the approach to Barons Green Depot, which was built originally for the HSTs, but no HSTs normally service here at all. It's normally just the 225 units, these and the Class 91s. And I believe it's only light maintenance that goes on here, but the facilities are in place for the London end anyway. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. It's just been a little short first look video into the Class 91 and the DVT enhancement pack from Armstrong Powerhouse. At only £10, well worth a buy. It's actually a steal, really. And highly recommend it if you are like me, who's either lives on the East Coast Main Line or familiar with the Class 91 trains. You're going to enjoy this. Guaranteed, over time you're going to enjoy this. So like I said, I do have another livery here, and this is the XGNR. And the train sim just crashed, so I'm going to have to call it quits. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, if you come this far. And I do highly recommend that you buy this pack. So I'll see you guys on the next one. It's most likely